Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 6th March today, and in this video we are going to solve some interesting questions which are very much relevant for your preparation. But before we'll start our discussion, I would like to give the brief introduction about this initiative so that if you are new to our channel you will get more connected with us. Basically in this video we are going to discuss three types of questions which would be taken from three different sources. So depending on it, the first set of questions which we are going to discuss here would be taken from the current affairs. What we are going to do here? We will take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We will try to break them down into the simplest language possible, and we will try to derive the possible prelims questions from those particular articles so that it will give the idea which part of the newspaper is important for you, what should be your approach when you are reading these news articles, and how you can expect a possible prelims question from these particular topics. This is what we are going to do in the first phase of our discussion, or in the first part of our discussion. After solving questions with respect to current affairs, we will shift our approach to the second part. Here we will discuss questions from the static topics. As you know, currently we are discussing Indian polity, and in Indian polity we are discussing the Parliament of India, and in Parliament of India we are discussing the Raj Sabha. So today we are going to discuss few important concepts related to Raj Sabha, and we will try to derive the possible prelims question on those concepts and give you the idea how actually the question can be asked in the exam. After solving questions with respect to current affairs and the static part, we will shift our approach to the last part of our discussion, where we will solve a previous year question. To me, this is the most important part, as I always say, because in here we learn the vocabulary which UPSC uses for framing your papers, how they had evolved in it over the years, and we will try to learn what are the different trends they follow for framing your papers, and also at the same time we will try to learn what can be the different methods which we can implement in the exam if we don't have the proper knowledge of the question, and also we will learn how we can implement this knowledge in the upcoming exam. So this is in nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now before we start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Please do share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. This initiative is for you guys. We are here to help you. If you need anything, please do write in the comments. We are all here to help you. So with this, let's have a look at the first question which we had brought today. As here on the screen you can see, the question is with respect to the current challenges related to the research and development investment in India. What are the current challenges with respect to it? And if you look at today's newspaper, there is no such direct article which talks about the lack of investment in research and development in India. There was no such topic in it, but definitely there was an article which talked about the DeepSeek and how DeepSeek's market disruptions must awaken India. The title of the article, how DeepSeek is revolutionary in a way, and how it is going to impact the India, how it is going to impact the Indian workforce, and how India should learn from it. This was the whole idea which was discussed in the news article. Before going to that discussion, first let's solve the question here. Let's get the answer of this question, then we will shift to the context part and get more idea about it. Here the question says, which of the following statements accurately reflect the current challenges related to research and development investment in India? So through this question we would learn what are the different challenges which we get in the research and development investment in India. First statement, the primary source of R&D funding in India is predominantly from the private sector, aligning with the global trends. This is totally incorrect. This is one of the issue in our research and development investment, that private sector is very less involved in it. The most investment is done by the central government itself. So this is the one of the major issue, and being in line with the global trends, that is way too far. We are very much too far from that. So definitely if we look at the different countries, like USA and Japan, they have their private investment is approximately, for some countries, 70%, and approximately for every country like these countries they have private investment more than 50%, but ours is very less than that. So that is one of the issue. Second statement, So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, India's gross expenditure on R&D, that is GRD, as a percentage of its GDP is comparable to that of leading developed companies, economies. Totally incorrect. If we look at how much we are investing in it, it is way less than that. Our GRD is less than 1% in research and development. So we can see how much less we are investing in it. And if we will compare it with other global economies, leading economies, their investment is way more than that. So definitely we lack in investment also. If we will compare it with the GDP numbers, in the percentage numbers, we lack in it. And also with respect to other countries, we are way back than those leading economies. Even though if we look at the figures, they might be that what we used, how much we invested in the previous financial year, that figures may seem we are increasing our investment. But if we compare it with respect to the percentage is always low. So second statement is also incorrect. So what is the second issue in our private investment? In our investment, the percentage, we are not investing that much, even though the majority of the investment is done by the government, but that investment is not up to the mark of the global standards. And if we will compare it with the global economies, we are way backward than those. Third statement, it says a significant portion of India's R&D budget is allocated towards capital expenditure rather than core research activities. 100% correct. This is one of the major issue also. Our significant portion of India's R&D budget is allocated towards the capital expenditure rather than research activities. This is one of the issue, and it is 100% true. Fourth statement, there is a strong and seamless collaboration between academic institutions and industries in India, fostering rapid technological innovation. That is totally incorrect, even though we are trying to improve in it, but still it has not reached to that level that we can mark it correct. So the fourth statement is also incorrect. So with respect to this question, the correct statement would be option 3 only. That is the correct option, and the correct option from the options given below would be option B. Now I hope you had understood various issues with our investment in the private sector. Now let's shift towards the context why we had brought this question here, as I believe it is very much important for us. Recently we saw that DeepSeek, how China brought up a DeepSeek open language model, which it gave tough competition to ChatGPT, and in a way it disrupted the global markets. And now the author in this article, he highlighted two important issues with respect to it, how it is going to impact India. Issues with respect to DeepSeek in India, how it is going to impact India. First, according to the author, if such low budget or if such low budget AI models would be created, even though the budget for other, if we will compare it with the chat gpt, it was estimated that more than 1 billion was for that, and for DeepSeek it is estimated that only $5 million were invested on developing the DeepSeek. So if such low budget AI models would be used, it may be very much accessible to every companies, and it will definitely impact the jobs in the IT sector. For example, data entry jobs, those might get impacted. So definitely it is going to impact the data entry jobs if it is adopted. If such technologies are adopted by the companies, it is going to impact the jobs. Many people will lose jobs. So this is one of the issue which the author highlights here. Second issue which the author highlights here, that India should also learn from it how China has came up with this. So India should not lag behind in it. India should also be in a race and learn from it and invest more in the technologies. India should learn from the company which developed DeepSeek, even though it was not their core area to develop AI technology, but they went out of the core area. So should Indian companies do, and learn from the China and adopt such technologies, which is going to which is eventually going to help India in achieving the technological goals which we are desiring for. So these were few major issues which were discussed in the article, and one of the major issue with our R&D, we discussed that through the question. So I hope you had understood the question as well as the context here. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Well, here is question. Here the question is with respect to ASHA program. So let's see what does the question say. The question says, with reference to the accredited social health activist program, consider the following statements. So before we will go why we are discussing this Asha program, what is the major issue with it, why we are discussing it. First, we will have the basic understanding about it. Let us see, get the basic important points which we will understand through this question, and then we will go to the context why we discussed it. The first statement, it says Ashas are primarily selected from within the community they serve. 100% correct. They are from the villages they serve in. So this is 100% true. Nothing wrong with it. Usually such statements may seem incorrect in the exam, but it is true for this Asha workers. Second statement: the Asha program operates exclusively in urban slum areas. Totally incorrect. It does not exclusively operate in urban slum areas. It operates in the rural areas too, so this statement is incorrect. Third statement: ashas are trained to provide curative medical services for complex illness. Totally incorrect. This is very much absurd statement. Fourth statement: the ashas program is a key component of the national rural health mission. 100% true. So with respect to this question, the correct statement would be option statement 1 and statement 4, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option A. Now we understood these key points about the ASHA, and you might be very much aware of what ASHA is. ASHA, if we look at ASHA itself, if we have to define what they are, we can define it in a simpler language that ASHAs, they act as a connecting link between the public health care and the beneficiaries. They provide the assistance which the beneficiaries required, so they connect them to the public health care and help them get the assistance what they required, especially in the pregnant woman. So there is one issue with the ashas, well, here the question, as we can see here on the screen, the question is about the reciprocal tariffs. So why we are discussing this? Because unfortunately, how much we tried our best to avoid it. We tried, through diplomats, through our, we even tried when the Narendra Modi went to US. He tried his best to avoid these reciprocal tariffs, but USA, the Donald Trump had decided in the Congress speech that they are going for the reciprocal tax towards India. So here, let's get the basic understanding of what this reciprocal tariffs are. what they are, that we will understand here. And the context is because India USA is going for the reciprocal tariffs tariffs, and it has been done by the USA. That's why it is in news. So with this, I hope you had understood it. Very small concept, but sometimes UPSC asks such questions. We get confused that how can they ask even such questions in the exams, but they ask us, and most of the students would mark such questions incorrect. So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is with respect to livestock health and disease control program in India. Why it is in news? Because the government, the cabinet has cleared funds for LHDCP, and how much funds are there? Approximately 3,880 crore rupees had been cleared for this program. So here we need to understand what this livestock health and disease control program in India is about. Here the question, through this question we will understand it. Here the question says, regarding the livestock health and disease control program in India, consider the following statements. First statement: the LHDCP is exclusively focused on eradicating foot and mouth disease (FMD) in cattle. No, it is not exclusively towards these diseases, but also towards other issues. So first statement is incorrect. Here I will show you a trick which most of you would be knowing, that by eliminating one we can eliminate option A and option C. So we are left with option B and option D only. So let's have a look at the option second. The National Animal Disease Control Program is a major component of LHDC. 100% correct. Earlier there used to be only three components, but it has been amended and now it has been increased to five. So what are those? First one is National Animal Disease Control Program. Second is Pashu Ashadu, then LH and DC. Now still there are three, but the earlier system used to be different. Now it is different. Now first, Pashu Ashadu was not there, so it has been added, and the other three, livestock health and disease control, it was a separate program there. Critical animal disease control program was there, and establishment and strength of existing veterinary hospitals and dispensaries, mobile veterinary units were there. So these three had been added together. So still now it has three components. What are these? First one is National Animal Disease Control Program, Pashu Ashuddu, and third is LH and DC, livestock and health and DC control, disease control, and others, which I mentioned earlier. So 100% second statement is correct. Third statement: the LHDCP is a state-funded scheme with no central government contribution. No, it is centrally sponsored scheme. So this statement is incorrect. As cabinet has approved funds, it is very much clear that what kind of scheme it is. So this statement is incorrect. Fourth statement: the LHDCP aims to improve animal health through vaccination, disease surveillance, and strengthening veterinary infrastructure. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 2 and statement 4 only. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option B. With this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought. Well, the question here is about the open market operations. Why it is in news? Because government has used this tool to buy the government securities. RBI, sorry, RBI has used this tool to buy the government, to buy the government securities and increase liquidity in market, which is open market operation. They had used this tool, and about 1 lakh government securities they are going to buy through this tool. So here it becomes important for us to know about open market operations. So let's understand it through this question. Here the question says, with reference to the open market operations conducted by the Reserve Bank of India, consider the following statements. First statement, OMO's open market operations involve the purchase and sale of government securities in the open market. 100% correct. That's what the RBI has done. Second, OMOs are primarily used to manage the fiscal deficit. No, it is not a fiscal policy tool, but a monetary policy tool. So this statement is incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect. So we can eliminate option B and option C. We are left with the one and A and D. Third statement, it says the primary objective of OMOs is to control inflation and maintain liquidity in the economy. 100% correct. That's what they are going to do. So third statement is correct. When 1 and 3 is correct, so we are left with only 1 and 3 only. So correct option would be option A. But have a look at the fourth statement also. Fourth statement says OMOs are conducted exclusively with. Fourth statement is incorrect. They are conducted with other financial institutions also. So with respect to this question, the correct statement would be option A, that is 1 and 3 only. With this, I hope you had understood this term also. Now with this, we had completed questions, our discussion with respect to the current affairs topics. Now let's move to the second part of our discussion, where we will solve a static topic based questions. Here let's see what question we had brought today. Well, today's question is about the eligibility criteria or qualification criteria for a person to be the member of the Raj Sabha. As you know, right now we are discussing the Parliament of India, and in the Parliament we have to discuss the Raj Sabha, and with respect to Raj Sabha, we have to discuss these important concepts which are highlighted here. So, as you know, we are taking very discrete approach. We are discussing every topic and taking questions on that, so that it will give the proper idea how the questions can be asked, even from those topics which seem very much minute, which seem very much less important. So that is the goal, to give you the all round preparation, to give you the everything what is required for you to clear the exam. That's what we are meant for here. Well, that's why we are here. So with this, let's solve the question and get this question done. Very easy question, most of you guys can easily answer it. Here the question says, which of the following qualifications are mandatory for a person to be eligible for membership of the Raj Sabha as per the Constitution of India? First statement, he must be a resident of the state from which they are being elected. Totally incorrect, even though it was earlier the case, but it was amended then. So first statement is incorrect. When first statement is incorrect, we can eliminate option A and option C. Now let's have a look at the second statement. Must be a citizen of India. 100% correct. If he is not a citizen, then how can he be the member? So first, second statement is correct. Second statement is correct. Third statement, must not be less than 30 years of age. 100% correct. This is also the eligibility criteria. Fourth statement, must possess a graduate degree from a recognized university. This is not the criteria at all. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 2 and statement 3. And another eligibility which you should know, he must possess such other qualifications as may be prescribed on that behalf by or under any law made by the Parliament. Any law which, if the Parliament has made with respect to the member to be the to a person to be the member of Raj Sabha, he should possess that. But what Constitution defines? The Constitution defines must be citizen of India, must not be less than 30 years of age. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 2 and statement 3, and from the code given below, the correct code is option B. With this, we had completed our discussion with respect to today's static topic also. Now let's move to the last part of our discussion, where we will solve a previous year question. As you know, we are discussing right now, we are discussing questions from the world geography. We had discussed questions with respect to ancient India, with respect to medieval, with respect to modern, with respect to India's freedom struggle. We had discussed every question with respect to physical geography, till now which was asked. Now we are discussing questions with respect to world geography, and this was the question which was asked in 2001. So please have a look at it. It gives us two lists. In the list one, it mentions local winds, and in the list two, it mentions in which region they belong to. So the question basically asks us to match the following. So as you know, if you had followed me, I often, whenever I bring such questions, I mark them correctly so that to avoid any confusion for you guys. So here, what it is very much in Alps, Sarmun in Kurdistan, Santa Ana in California, and Zonda in Argentina. So all the four are matched correctly here. So please do remember these local winds, especially those which are asked in the exams. You know, if UPSC is going to ask any other question on the local winds, definitely trust me, money statements would be from these only. So that's why it becomes important for you to remember at least these local winds which are asked in the previous year questions. So with this we complete our today's discussion. I hope you would have liked the video. I hope you would share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative, and I hope you would definitely subscribe the channel. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you very much and have a nice day.